Qualifying during the heat of the day, yes sir. Rather because the race is tonight. At least I hope it is. I think they will.
You kept pushing on, but then you went too far.
If they don't like them, they can give up.
All your dreams are lost. Everything is wrong. You feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you. Don't forget it. When life is lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Testing. Uh-oh. Just be saying you get fucked.
You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. There's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it.
Oh.
When life throws lemons,
That'll be a great song.
just call me. Just call me.
Yeah, where the shitboxes come out in front, they're wobbling all over the track and putting up.
Is that SVG? Hey, yo.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sim Racing Media. here live at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Elite Cup Racing Next Gen Series. Going to be running the Henry's Roasted Chicken 213. It's myself, Front Row Joe, in the booth. Joining with me is Gary Wells. Gary, how's it feeling tonight?
Man, I tell you what, it is good. Glad to be back at the booth with you again after a week off last week, but really excited for this race tonight, man. Las Vegas always puts on a good show, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how these guys do it tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, as we take a look at our race information for tonight, it's the Henry's Roasted Chicken 213 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We'll be going a total of 142 laps, no stages, 4 additional tire sets, 3 green-white checkers. Fuel window going to be about 48 to 52 laps. No fast repairs. I've got to get rid of that. But nevertheless, qualifying is complete. The guys should be getting gridded up here shortly. We've got Randy Meeks, who's went ahead and put it on the pole tonight, and a little bit of a change. Tristan Bailey is usually one of the ones that qualifies on the front row, if not on the pole, but you're going to have Randy Meeks and John Osborne going to be starting here on row 1 tonight. We'll take a quick look at our season outlook as we have now entered into the nighttime. We're here at Las Vegas. Last week we were at Dover Motor Speedway where Tristan Bailey took home the win. Then we'll be at Daytona and Kansas Speedway in the following weeks. But the field is now gridded up, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at our starting grid for the night. On the pole, you're going to have Randy Meeks in the number 20, and on his outside is going to be John Osborne in the number 11. Row number 2 is going to be Evan Marlowe in the number 21 machine. Aaron Miller in the number 10 machine on his outside. Row number 3 is going to be Anthony Ludi and Tristan Bailey. Row number 4 is going to be Christopher Howell and Adam Evo Boughton. Row number 5 is going to be Ethan Brooks and Kent Mueller. Row number 6 is going to be Pete Walsh and Gary Nash. Row number 7 is going to be Christopher Roth and Robert Roth. A little Roth action in row number 7 tonight. Row number 8 going to be Doug Denice and Dwayne Furtick. Row number 10, Ryan McCall, Douglas King. Row number 10, Tyler Burden and Michael Carter. And that is going to do it for the starting grid tonight. It's going to be a very exciting race, 142 laps. And Gary, this is going to be a thriller, just to say the least.
Yeah, Vegas always puts on a good race, like always racing under the lights, because you really get to see the paint schemes pop and everybody's creativity on the cars and everything. But tonight, I think we're going to see a multi-groove race. I think we're going to see the line move a little bit around this racetrack. The bumps in turns 1 and 2 are going to be something that these drivers are going to be working hard all night to avoid. But other than that, man, I think we're going to see a really good race here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said earlier, a little bit of a change-up on the front row. 2 really fast cars up here in the front row. Fast cars all over the track. These guys only separated, I think, by about a total of 6 or 7 tenths of a second between the first and the last place driver. But we've got the pace car leading the field out of turn number 4. Pace car going to take that hard left turn onto pit road. And Randy Meeks is going to take us green here.
Yep, sure is. Pace cars pulled off here, and green flags in the air for the Henry's Roasted Chicken 213.
Yeah, green, the 21. Evan Marlowe really giving Randy Meeks a shove. Wants to get that inside leverage on the number 11 of Osborne. As Osborne going to have a run here on the outside. Might just get past Randy Meeks if he's got the momentum, but Marlowe really giving Meeks a shove as they enter into turn number 3.
He's really doing a really good job. These guys still side by side. through 3 and 4, and I think Osborne's going to lead lap number 1. He does. Yeah, Osborne really using that high line to his advantage right now. He's having to turn up the steering wheel a little bit, especially on the exit of the corners, just to make sure that he's not sliding up into that 11th car. But Osborne going to settle into that point position here, and Randy Meeks and Evan Marlowe are having a little bit of a battle now for second.
Yeah, we've got a battle for second. We've also got a battle here for fourth. It's going to be Tristan Bailey, or correction, Adam Boughton and Aaron Miller. That's going to be for fifth. Tristan Bailey able to get around Aaron Miller just a lap ago. But the way Vegas runs, how hard it is on tires, these drivers are absolutely going to have to pay attention to how their cars are handling throughout the runs, whether it's the short or the long run. Vegas is a track where you definitely want to have some good long run speed. So we'll be taking a look at all these drivers as they navigate the track, as they're almost 3 wide into turn number 1 with Gary Nash, Christopher Roth, and Dwayne Furtick tangled up in the middle there.
These guys run 2 and 3 wide, and a lot of it is, you know, they're trying to make sure they have as much downforce on the car as they can as they're back in traffic. So you'll see these guys file out into different lanes in the corners, but once they hit the straightaway, if they're not side by side, you'll pretty much see them single file. Yeah, you were mentioning tires being abrasive on this bumpy surface, and it really is. The key is if you can survive the first 3 or 4 laps and not burn them up too much, you'll be able to make them last the whole run. But these guys have tips and tricks, you know, with these fixed setups to be able to save a little bit of tire. Usually it's just backing up your corners a little bit more and managing your throttle through the center of the exit of the corner to make sure that you're not burning up too much of your right rear or your right front tire.
Yeah, absolutely, Gary. I couldn't agree with you more. As we take a look back up to the front, Osborne out to 0.3 of a second. Marlowe being chased down by Randy Meeks and the number 9 of Tristan Bailey. As we go on board here with Tristan Bailey, see exactly what he's looking at from the hood cam.
Yeah, and he's definitely got a different paint scheme on this week, too. I was looking for his normal scheme that he's ran the last few weeks, but tonight he's got a different car on it. I like it. Looks good.
Yes, Rowdy Travis Designs. Not sponsored by them, but if you like what kind of paint scheme Tristan Bailey is running, check out Rowdy Travis Designs. We'll take a quick look at the paint scheme. A big old hot dog on that thing.
Definitely supporting his wieners tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Nothing wrong with a glizzy. But, yeah, we're going to jump around here and take a look at some of the action that's going on in the pack. As these
the wall there.
Yeah, Tristan Bailey into the wall, but these 4 drivers out to about a 1.5, little over 1.5 second lead over the 5th place driver, which is now Adam Evo Boughton. He's got Anthony Ludi behind him, and looked like they were about to go 3 wide across the front stretch with Carter, Nash, Pete Walsh, and Ethan Brooks in the mix there as well.
Yeah, and the tri-oval here doesn't look treacherous on the broadcast, you know, as you're watching it, but in the car sometimes, man, especially if people dip below the white line there on the front straightaway, that tri-oval can get pretty narrow and pretty treacherous in a hurry.
Yeah, there's so much grip down there on that tri-oval. If you don't hit it perfectly and transition on and off of that apron, it's really going to unsettle the car and get you super tight. And then as soon as the tires grip up, it's going to send you around. So it's only something you want to really use if you absolutely have to. If you get a huge run, you have nowhere else to go, just dive it down on the inside. It's completely different from Chicago. Chicago, that's more or less the line there going down on the apron. But here at Las Vegas, completely different scenario.
Yeah, it almost feels like you're driving on ice when you're on that transition here between the apron and the racetrack. Ask me how I know. I've done that a time or two.
Yeah, I have. I'm pretty sure.
That's why I'm up here in the booth with you instead of being on the racetrack.
Yeah, we're on board here. Michael Carter's got Pete Walsh in front of him. These guys opting to widen the racetrack out a little bit, running the middle and then arcing it down to the bottom on the exit of turn number 4. And yeah, I mean, typical here. We say it every broadcast, but this next-gen car is so aero-dependent. These drivers are going to have to do everything they can to stay in some clean air. As you see Michael Carter there catching the wake of Pete Walsh, having to slide up the track, get some clean air on the nose of that thing.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, because you documented that the front 4 have pulled away from 5th on back. I'm curious to see if maybe that's a little bit by design by the guys 5th on back to maybe try to save a little bit of tire and let the front 4 just pull away for a little bit and burn their stuff up. Maybe, just maybe, since we're 13 laps into this thing, maybe we'll start reeling them back in.
Yeah, you know, Gary, you've got a point. As we take a look back up front, at our top 4, you've got, excuse me, Osborne, Marlowe, Bailey, and Meeks. They're all single filed out. No driver really looking to make a move. So I wonder if, you know, that could also be by design as well. If these 4 drivers want to just stay in line and use the draft on the front stretch and the back stretch to increase that gap, as they're now 2 seconds back from the leader. That's going to be number 94 of Boughton.
Yeah, for sure. Another thing that these guys will want to watch out for tonight is if there is any crosswind here at Las Vegas. It's been prone to make or break some guys' races here. As far as a crosswind coming out of turn 2 and out of turn 4, really affects the handling on these race cars.
Yeah, absolutely, Gary. You've hit it right on the head with the hammer. And as we see Bailey now looking to make a move on the outside of the second place driver, Evan Marlowe, his teammate. And Bailey going ahead and taking that position away. And, you know, I just noticed Tristan Bailey, Evan Marlowe, both have hot dog themed paint schemes tonight.
Yes. I wasn't sure if they were teammates. That's why I didn't want to say anything. But I did notice that they've got hot dog themes on the race cars.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the other teammate, Ryan McCall with Eons Motorsports, and he's got Black Bear Pizza on there.
Hungry.
So hot dogs and pizza, the theme of the night here at the Henry's Roasted Chicken 13. We're going to maybe check around and see if any driver is sporting a Henry's Roasted Chicken paint.
It looks like Yair Miller's got the gold bowling at the Glen. Well, not at the Glen, but the gold bowling
yeah,
colors on his car tonight.
We've got Rowdy Travis in the chat, teammate of Eons, the 06 of Tyler Burton. Also, Oscar Mayer Wieners.
Seems to be a theme going on tonight. Oh, it was 62s in the wall. Keeps it straight. Keeps it going.
Yeah, that was the 62 of Christopher Roth. Christopher Roth down 5 positions from where he started. His brother Robert Roth, or relative, I should say, Robert Roth, down 3 positions as well. These two sitting single file right behind each other.
Yeah, I think something that we'll have to watch here tonight too is the wall entry to turn 1, exit turn 2, and exit 4. It seems like it's a really easy place to, especially going into 1, you're trying to arc it as much as you can, and sometimes you clip the wall, but then sometimes out of 2 and turn 4 you get a little bit tight, and you think you're further away from the wall than what you actually are, and you end up with it sometimes.
Yeah, objects in the windshield are closer than they appear.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And so that's always kind of a struggle, I know, for a lot of drivers, just to be able to see the whole picture and entering the corner and coming out as well.
Yeah, Tristan Bailey getting a run here on the leader, John Osborne. These two are notorious for battling for the lead. Not just John Osborne, but his teammate Dwayne Furtick also battling with Tristan Bailey a few races ago, and both these drivers getting a win over Tristan Bailey in this season. And speaking of the season, take a quick look at our points standings. Tristan Bailey out in front Adam Boughton a close second. And you've got Osborne, Christopher Howell, and Dwayne Furtick rounding out the top 10. And as you can see there on the right side of your screen, second column from the right, the wins column, Tristan Bailey, 8 wins on the season. Question for tonight, is he going to be able to make it 9, or is Osborne going to be able to hold on for the long run for the win?
Definitely possible. But like we've been saying so far at the start of this thing, is just been conserving your tires and making sure you're putting yourself in position all night long to get to the last pit stop and maintain your track position all night. And you know, as we've talked about already, with this next gen car being very aero dependent, you really got to watch yourself as far as making sure you're not hitting the wall, make sure you're not running into any other cars as well. Just making sure you keep that car nice and clean all night long and giving yourself a chance at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. You see Evan Marlowe sitting in third right now. He's got a bunch of clean air in front of him, so I feel like as long as he stays consistent, he should be able to catch up to the leaders, as I do anticipate a battle brewing shortly. And you can see Evan Marlowe over the last 2 laps has cut down about 0.2 of a second on that lead. So clean air is king here, and we'll be keeping an eye on Evan Marlowe to see just how far he can close that gap.
Yeah, you got Randy Meeks right on his back bumper too. He's been kind of looking to make a move the last couple of corners here. So it'll be interesting to see if he even wants to stay in line with that 21 to try to catch up with these guys.
Yeah, Randy Meeks, our pole sitter for tonight, falling back down into 4th early on in the race. Still a long way to go as we're on lap number 25 of 142.
Couldn't tell there with Evan if the way he was driving that 21 machine down to the bottom of the racetrack, if he got loose or if that was by design. He's trying to make that not quite the Larson line, but he's trying to make that outside work, and it's working for him so far.
Yeah, later in the runs, that outside line is going to absolutely play a factor. Not just in 3 and 4, also 1 and 2. These tires fall off really bad here at Las Vegas, and top line later in the runs, a viable option for these drivers here in Elite Cup racing.
Yeah, and the more you could break it in, not just early in the run, but early in the race too, and dust off the groove up there, it will become a viable option. We'll see these drivers work from the white line in the corners to the wall. But if you don't dust off that groove early in the race, it doesn't become usable. It seems like I've noticed over the last few years with this oval refresh. So they're breaking it in early just to make sure that not only later in the run, but even later in the race, that is a viable option for passing.
Yeah, absolutely. As you see, Evan Marlowe, Randy Meeks still battling it out. Marlowe having the advantage running that high line, but we'll take a quick look at our fastest 5 drivers of the race so far. John Osborne setting the fastest lap time with a 29.65, with Evan Marlowe being a close second with a 29.71. Then you have Randy Meeks, Tristan Bailey, and Adam Boughton all within 0.2 of each other. Biggest gainers of the night is going to be Dwayne Furtick, up 6 positions from where he started. Tristan Bailey as well, up 5 from where he started. And then Tyler Burton, Doug Denice, and Adam Boughton Evo all up multiple spots since the start of this race. So a lot of moving and shaking going around.
Yeah, definitely a lot of moving parts going on right now for sure. And that's just the beauty part of the next gen era a little bit. You do get your comers and goers, and you also get a lot of multi-groove racing, which really opens up the racetrack and does put on a really good show for the drivers, and the fans watching. Looking at Randy Meeks here, he's trying to get around that 21. Not quite able to do it that corner. Tight side-by-side racing between these 2 drivers. And you can hear them just playing with the throttle through the corners just to see if they can get an extra extra little bit of speed or crack that throttle just a little bit earlier to get off the corner better. But when you're back in the pack like this, it's really, really hard, especially when you're side by side, to beat somebody back into the throttle.
Yeah, absolutely, Gary. And with these next gen cars, you know, I mean, realistically, it's for every car, but here at Vegas with these next gen cars, these drivers have to find that point that they can stay partial throttle as with spit it out. They have to find the maximum partial throttle that they can maintain through the corners to be able to carry that entry speed through the center and then drive off the exit.
There's definitely a multitude of ways. Wow, I can't speak tonight. That these drivers will approach the track, and you know, it's interesting to see how it varies from racer to racer. But I completely agree with you. Some guys will get out of the throttle completely just to kind of help save the rear tires a little bit. Some will, you know, only drop to maybe 10 or 20% throttle in the middle of the corner. So it's interesting to see how every driver approaches the corners just a little bit different.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and we're seeing that here at Las Vegas with various lines. Some of these drivers taking the low, some of these drivers taking the high. And taking a look here at Tyler Boughton in the 06 Oscar Mayer machine. Sitting just outside the top 10 in 12th, started 19, so he's gained a few spots as well as he tries to work his way up into the top 10.
Yeah, and he's kind of been taking that same line that throughout the race so far that's gained him all these spots. He enters in very high, and then by the end of the corner, he's by exit, he's running pretty low on the racetrack, especially in 1 and 2. Definitely avoiding the bumps as much as he can. But another good reason, I think it really gets overlooked with Las Vegas, I think another good reason why it puts on some of the best racing is, similar to Kansas, similar to Homestead, Miami, this track does have that aggressive banking on it, where the higher you go up the track, the more banking you have, and the lower you are on the track, the lower that banking gets. But we've seen drivers all night tonight so far. We've seen them run the top, the middle, and the bottom, and they're making speed in every single lane.
Yeah, that is the nature of the beast that is Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and I froze up for a little bit looking at the scoreboard and saw that we've got a new race leader, Tristan Bailey, able to find the edge over Osborne, make the pass. He was sitting about 0.3 of a second behind Osborne. It appeared to me that the dirty air and all the stuff that's incorporated with making a pass in the next-gen car was holding up Tristan Bailey, but he's able to get past Osborne, and it looks like he's starting to actually drive away.
Yeah, and it's definitely one of those things, too, where maybe Tristan at the beginning of the race, he didn't start in his normal position. He started in 6th tonight all the way up to the lead now, but could be one of those things, too, where he was using the first, 20 to 25 laps of this run, just saving his tires a little bit. Because, even though these guys don't run 100% fuel, they're still having to save just a little bit to be able to make passes later on. And he did just that, and now he's pulled away by almost 0.6 of a second.
Yeah, and I feel like this is kind of a catch-22 or devil's advocate, or however you decide to interpret this, but sometimes it's not the worst thing in the world to start a few rows back from the lead, because that actually forces you to to slow the pace down and try and navigate and find clean air. So depending on if we get long runs or not after that initial start, that could absolutely help you later on in the run, as we see Tristan Bailey here now pulling out to almost 0.75 of a second over John Osborne.
Yeah, but still great racing all throughout this field. Looks like Meeks and Boughton are still pretty close together on the racetrack. We've got Burton doing his thing. He's been running pretty good so far up to 12. He's got still a couple seconds to Doug Denise, but he's been running pretty good all night.
Yeah, almost a battle here for the top 10 position here. Dwayne Furtick and Doug Denise battling it out.
Yeah, Dwayne Furtick up 6 positions since the start of the race, and Doug Denise up 4 spots.
Yeah, both drivers seeming to like that inside line. We'll see how both of these drivers attack turn number 1 as Tyler Burton gets to the outside of Denise and opts to run the high line here. Going to catch a run off the corner and get to the right rear of Doug Denise.
Yeah, and he's got a big run. And sometimes if you time it just right, running that high side, you can get, it'll just feel like you've got an extra 50 horsepower under the hood of your race car, just of how you're able to launch out of the corner running the high side of the racetrack. But yeah, this battle for 10th, 11th, and 12th here has been very interesting to watch, and Burton just keeps going up towards the front by running this high side. And the bottom is really good for saving tire, but man, to make passes and to make lap time, the bottom to top here so far I've noticed has been really the place to be.
Yeah, absolutely. As we are now into the pit window, or the fuel window, should I say, is estimated between 42 or 44 and 52 laps. So we'll keep an eye on these drivers and see who decides to kick off the green flag pit cycle. As you see Furtick there shifting to the middle lane, try and break a little bit of that draft that Tyler Burton was catching off from down the back straightaway. As Burton is, he's got some speed and seems to be gaining some track position on Dwayne Furtick.
Yeah, he was definitely trying to break the draft there, but anytime, especially on entry or in the center of the corner, if you could change your lineup a little bit to where you're dumping just a little bit of dirty air on the nose of the guy behind you, you definitely want to take advantage of that too, because it'll make their car just push insanely tight, and they to the point where they either have to lift or they're going to be in the fence.
Yeah, absolutely. They, you lose the nose in this next gen car if you don't save it quick. That's it. You're done. You're into the wall, or you're going to push loose and the end is going to snap around on you. But I just noticed up at the front of the pack here, Osborne falling back to third now, and Adam Boughton is now on his bumper and is looking to make a pass and move up into a podium position.
Yep, absolutely. And look at the damage on that right front fender of Osborne. He's definitely clipped that wall a couple of times already, so definitely going to affect the handling of that race car, and could affect the toe links too, the suspension components inside of that right front wheel there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you tap the wall at coming out of the corner at 170, 180 miles per hour. Even what you think is a light touch could absolutely damage the car. As you see Osborne 170 miles an hour exiting turn number 4, and hopefully not too much damage for the number 11 machine. And we're still clean and green here. Lap number 48 of 142. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to step away for just a brief minute, but don't worry, you are not going to miss any of the action as we go Sim Racing Media side by side.
Yes. Yes. Right. Perfect.
green flag pit cycles have begun here. You've got quite a few drivers in the pits. Two of those drivers are going to be Tristan Bailey, John Osborne, as well as Anthony Ludi, Ryan McCall, and Douglas King. And for the meantime, that's going to yield the race lead to Adam Boughton.
Yep, temporarily going to give him the lead. And, he's had a solid top 5 car tonight. I think, especially as you are in the middle of these green flag cycles, a lot of strategy going on to see if these guys will short pit to keep the freshest tires in the car as much as possible. But also, as a driver myself, I like to look at the first run, go as long as I can, and then come in and look at the tires as I'm on pit road. And as I see them, one of those things that I'm looking at is, okay, can I go harder? Do I need to back off a little bit? Just kind of see where I'm at as far as how hard I'm running, as you see Adam getting onto pit road right now.
Yeah, and that's one of the advantages of, starting mid-pack, being able to save a few extra laps of fuel is you see Tristan Bailey entering in turn number 1, and he should cycle back to the front here as most of, if not all, the drivers have conducted a green flag pit stop.
Yes, that'll definitely give the lead back to Tristan Bailey. And, of course, Tristan just been on an absolute tear. He will cycle back out as the leader of this race. And looks like everybody's pitted, like you said. And right back to the top of the board is going to be that number 9 car.
And Adam Boughton coming out not too far behind, although he is going to have to get up to speed. So little shake up in the front with Bailey, Aaron Miller, and Evan Marlowe now your top 3 drivers. It'll be a battle right here for 4th with Osborne and Boughton. Osborne having a momentum there on the outside, gonna run the outside the way he started this race and get the run on the number 94 down the back straightaway.
Yeah, of course, these guys running really tight, side by side, and all those things. And Adam, of course, got the freshest tires out of everybody now. And looks like John on pit road was able to repair his damage just a little bit, depending on how much it was. You don't want to spend too much time on pit road repairing damage, especially as we've had a completely green flag race so far through the first 56 laps of this thing.
Yeah, I tried to pull up the repairs overlay. It decided it was not going to work, but you see little different pit strategies. Looks like about half of the field taking 4 tires and the other half of the field taking 2 tires, and we'll see exactly how that works. Unfortunately, we can't see real-time tire information, but you would think left side tires would be an option here late in the run. Not sure if it's the call this early in the race, but we shall see how these drivers are able to stay on pace here with taking 2 tires on that cycle.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, especially depending on which tires or which side of the 2 tires that they took. If you take the right side tires only, especially if the lefts aren't wearing out that much, which I haven't ran Vegas in a while, so I'm not quite sure what all that looks like. But one of those things that you'll want to keep a point of order in your brain is these next-gen cars are naturally tight as is. So changing the right side tires only on your race car will actually help the handling a little bit. It will make you looser, but it could also make you too loose to where you're not used to it, and it could potentially spin you around. So just kind of depends on your driving style and what you want to do as far as changing tires, and if it is even worth taking only 2 versus taking 4.
Yeah, absolutely, Gary. I couldn't agree with you there. They say loose is fast, but too loose is too slow. So, this next gen car likes to be driven off the corner straight, but a little skew in it every now and then is not going to hurt. As we now see Boughton and Aaron Miller getting side by side, almost making contact there. Come out of turn number 2 as Boughton gonna have the advantage on the inside and is just gonna wrap the bottom, and they'll be side by side on exit across the start finish line.
Yeah, and watched a lot of different drivers here tonight as these guys are side by side. Adam has done a terrific job, I think, probably one of the best outside of a 9 car, as far as just being able to wrap that white line and wrap the bottom around the racetrack. He's done an excellent job as far as just getting the most speed of your car as you can by running the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, and you can see Adam now up into second, starting 8th in the field, and after that cycle, able to come out, and it looks like he's slowly starting to gain on Tristan Bailey.
Yeah, gaining on Tristan Bailey a little bit, and you know, Tristan's pit lap was 51 and Adams was 53, so a couple lap difference on the fresh tires. You would think it wouldn't be that big of a difference, but we've also seen Tristan kind of play games with his opponents this season so far, and as far as managing the gap and letting people catch up so he could save more tire for later. So interested to see if Adam is legitimately faster at the moment, or if Tristan's just playing with this competition.
Yeah, only time will tell, as we see Boughton got about 9 laps on his tires while Bailey's got about 11, so 2-lap difference on tires. We've seen it be a difference maker. We've also seen it not be a difference maker. Still early on in the run. And, you know, we know Tristan Bailey's got really good long-run pace, but, you know, Adam Boughton, he's been one of the most consistent drivers here in the Elite Cup Racing NextGen Series, consistently running top 5, top 10, and always comes away in the clutch when he needs it the most.
Yeah, he's definitely done a great job with that so far this year, and hats off to all these drivers, really. I mean, this is probably one of the better quality leagues that I've seen a long time on iRacing. These guys really know how to take care of each other from the front of the field all the way to the last place guy, and definitely a solid core group they have here at the Elite Cup Series.
Yeah, and we've got a 4-way battle here for 6th. Everett Marlowe, Anthony Ludi, Dwayne Furtick, and Randy Meeks. All these drivers, you can see them fanning out, about 3 wide stagger there, going out of turn number 4.
Yeah, I was just about to have you point the camera to these guys. I've been looking at the interval the last few laps, and these drivers have been really, really close on track, and you could tell some are trying to battle while, you know, we're not even halfway through this thing, so these guys are still trying to manage their stuff a little bit too.
Yeah, you can see number 51 at Furtick cutting down a little bit in front of Randy Meeks and putting Randy in his wake. But you can see he's still got the draft that he's catching from the number 21, and you know, you can see he's really got the run here, but he's got to back off a little bit because that aerodynamic effect that the air is going to have on these next-gen cars is going to make it difficult to see him now sliding down, getting to that left rear of Furtick. Center off of 3 and 4. We could potentially have a battle brewing for the 3rd position between Aaron Miller and John Osborne. Osborne about 3/10 back on the number 10 of Aaron Miller.
Yeah, and even Aaron is slowly starting to catch the 94 of Adam Boughton. So a couple of different battles starting to brew here within the top 5, and and a couple of those spots for the podium position.
Yeah, and you know, traditionally, you know, after green flag pit stops, the field kind of gets stretched out. but these drivers, they've got excellent pit crews, and they've been able to get on and off pit road in a flash, and racing still really tight from the front of the pack all the way to the rear of the field.
Yeah, these guys, like we said before, these drivers run it really tight, but they run it really clean, and they're really fair with one another. Very, very hard to find in some of these leagues today.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna go take a quick look at the. Well, I thought I had it. Must not have. The gap was a little closer before I switched to the battle between Tyler Burton and Kent Mueller. Actually, I think it was between McCall and Denise. It's going to be the battle for 12th. .72 of 142 laps completed. We are just past the halfway point of the Henry's Roasted Chicken 213 with the Elite Cup Racing Next Gen Series. Tristan Bailey, your current race leader, followed closely by Adam Boughton and Aaron Miller, rounding out your top three podium drivers currently.
Yeah, these drivers have been running really good all night, but we do have a battle again between, looks like the 90 there and the number 40 cars.
Yeah, you can see Doug Denise trying to go into Black Bear Pizza and get a slice.
Nope, he's trying to chase down another food car.
He's looking to take a slice out of the Black Bear Pizza pie. He's sitting just about 2/10 off of the number 90 of Ryan McCall, and yeah, just great all-around racing we've seen so far. 75 green flag laps, and yeah, Boughton's just sitting comfortably about 7/10 behind Tristan Bailey. So, you know, rather good sign for the number 94 is, you know, Tristan Bailey still somewhat within striking distance. And we've seen here in a few races Tristan Bailey having the lead and making a costly mistake that ends up losing him the win. So I almost bet my bottom dollar that Tristan Bailey has got that in the back of his mind and wants to do everything perfectly here and come away with his 9th win of the season.
He's been absolutely kicking everybody's tail, leading the league in wins, and I believe he's a points leader too, so he has absolutely had these boys covered all season long.
Yeah, and you see Osborne now, where did he come from? He's now up to 3rd, getting around the number 10 of Aaron Miller. And he seemed to have found some strides and makes the surge back up into the top 3.
Yeah, whatever problems he had early on in this race, I think it probably was one of those things where, one, he had that right front fender damage, right? And I think, 2, I think he realized that he was probably driving just a little bit too hard now. So he's definitely found some middle ground to make sure that the tires last the whole run. And he is right here with these guys and ready to make a run out of here toward the end of this thing.
Yeah, and the one thing about the Elite Cup Racing Next Gen Series is there are no stage cautions, right? So it forces these drivers to think quick on the fly as far as adjusting their driving styles, right? You think if you go back to stage racing, you know, you get a stage caution and the whole field resets and you've got a few minutes to kind of gather your thoughts and figure out what you want to do on the next run. But, you know, here running the old school format with no cautions, it forces these drivers to think on the fly, and, you know, looks like it's worked out pretty good not just for the number 11 of Osborne, but also the 94 of Boughton. As you see, he's still sitting in second right now.
Yeah, it definitely gives racing its purest form. Not a whole lot of gimmicks here, and everybody just racing straight through. And that's what the fans want. That's what people want at the end of the day. NASCAR, if you're listening, knows, but you know, it's just one of those things where it helps the race develops organically, and the strategy becomes a lot more interesting, especially as you get on down to the end of these races. But closing in with, you know, a little over 50 laps left of this thing, 60 laps left of this thing, so not over yet. Definitely going to be a one-more stop race after these later rounds of green flag touchdowns, as they're getting ready to come up on these here pretty quick.
If we look at the pit strategy data, about an average of 29 laps on these set of tires, so these drivers should have a good solid 20 to 25 laps left on these tires, which will put us just inside of 40 to go. And yeah, one stopper should take these guys to the end, and we'll see if we will go green to checkered here at Las Vegas.
Well, it's been done before in many leagues. I know I've spent my fair share of league races here at Las Vegas in the past where we've gone caution-free, and I've also been a part of a lot of Las Vegas races where we have, you know, 20 cautions for 25 laps or 30 laps, whatever it is, around this place. So good to see that these guys are still running good and running clean with one another, and the racing has, of course, as always in the Elite Cup Racing Series, been very, very cordial and respectful.
Yeah, absolutely. And if there's anybody out there that's looking to join the NextGen League, if you're interested, join the Discord and get in touch with some of the league admins and put your name in the pot for next season. Still got quite a ways to go here. We have one more race to go after tonight before we enter into the chase, and it'll be a 6-lap run to the championship race on October 31st at Auto Club.
Yeah, 6-race chase, and you know, I think that's perfect for this type of league. Yeah, it runs a longer regular season, but you know, 6-race chase, I think that's plenty for virtual racing, because you pretty much know who your championship contenders are going to be 2 or 3 races sometimes into a chase run. So it's definitely a good format they've got going here in the Elite Cup Racing Series.
Yeah, absolutely. As we stay dialed into this battle right here, Randy Meeks, Evan Marlowe, these two have been back and forth, side by side, one in front of the other, just leapfrogging around this track, and
they've been around each other all night long, basically since the drop of the green flag, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah. To say the least, I think that might be an understatement, as they've been all over each other, and they're currently battling for that number 7 position. And both of these drivers, you know, I think it's one of those things where, you know, you have a good driver battling against a good driver, and this is exactly the product of that. As you see both of these drivers being composed and disciplined around the track, and you know, searching for grip, and you know, trying to use what they can to their advantage. But as we see right now, Marlowe has the edge over Randy Meeks. Two more drivers that have been all over each other tonight. That's going to be the number 90 of Ryan McCall and Tyler Burton, as well as Doug Denise, as we've seen McCall still keeping that advantage over Denise, now looking to start to work on his teammate of Tyler Burton.
And speaking of guys that have been around each other all night, the 90 and the 06, as we're watching these guys too, it's always been a battle for just outside the top 10 or maybe a 10th, and these two have been putting on a heck of a battle all night long as well.
Osborne still not able to find the edge over the number 90 of Boughton, as it appears he's closed that gap, the number 94, over the leader Tristan Bailey, getting it down to 0.6 of a second, as we see Tristan Bailey getting ready to come up to some lap traffic. So we'll see how much of a factor that plays, and if the 94 of Boughton is able to close that gap even more as Bailey fights around this lap traffic.
Yeah, definitely going to be interested to see how they can get through the traffic here. And, of course, not quite lap traffic yet, I suppose. The 59 and the 18 are already a lap down. But, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how these guys get through it. And I think the 11 now, at this point in the run especially, he's kind of in that beach ball effect there of the dirty air and can't quite get through to be able to make a move. So, especially at this point, tires are worn out. We're, let's see, they all pitted around in the 50s. We're on lap 92 now, so as they come up here, this is going to be the last stop of the night when they make their next pit stop here. And I think a lot of these drivers are aiming for lap 100 if they can make it that far.
Yeah, Osborne fighting the dirty air off of not just the 94 as well as the 9, as he is well within that bubble where the air off of Tristan Bailey's car can affect him. So I think he's just got to hang on here for a few more laps, and I think his best opportunity would be to try and long pit here and get a few extra laps on his tires. Howell
battle here for the 4th position between Howell and Miller here.
Yeah, these two drivers as well have battled many a times throughout the Elite Cup Racing NextGen Series, and we've got Karen Ford in the chat rooting on the number 9 of Tristan Bailey. On board here with the number 1 of Christopher Howell. Trying to find some speed here to get around that number 10 of Aaron Miller. And now the top 5 drivers having to work around some of this lap traffic, as we've got the, I believe that's the 20th, no, that's the 59 of Roth.
Yeah, we also got the 10 car of Aaron Miller coming down pit road.
Yeah, Aaron Miller opting to short pit this and see if that works out for him, as he has started the green flag pit cycle here on lap number 98 of 142. 23 of Ethan Brooks slowing down to come down pit road. We've got Evan Marlowe, Pete Walsh, and Ethan Brooks now down pit road. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break as we hear from our sponsors.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
As we are still in the green flag pit cycle, Adam Boughton going to bring it down pit road. And looks like that will yield the race lead to the number 10 of Aaron Miller. As Tristan Bailey gets off of pit road and gets up to speed and looks to shake things up. So the short pit for Aaron Miller looks like it's going to give him the lead for the time being. It'll be Miller, Bailey, and Boughton going 1, 2, and 3 as Miller just comes up and taps. Oh, we got a spinner, the 16.
No caution, though.
Douglas King keeps it down on the apron, but Adam Boughton coming up behind him the rest of the field, and oh, the 16. It's Douglas King.
Yeah, King able to keep that clean and keep it green, but definitely a scary moment there on track for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, especially as he got back on track and, you know, you're doing about 100 miles an hour and his car's coming through the corner at 180. It's not not pleasant for anybody as looks like we were able to come away from that unscathed and clean and green here on lap number 108 of 142 in the Henry's Roasting Chicken 213 for the Elite Cup Racing Next Gen Series here on Sim Racing Media. Battle right here for 5th. Ludi Denise and Evan Marlowe. Denise and Marlowe back at it again. You see Marlowe opting for a little bit of an arc there. Really trying to drive off the right rear on exit. Just not quite able to find what he needs to get around the number 40 of Doug Denise. Got Ryan McCall and Osborne here battling it out for 9th. Take a look at our pit stop statistics. Still some drivers opting for 2 tires here for this second run. I'm pretty sure that we flip-flopped the drivers that took 4 the second stint, or excuse me, the first stint, took 2. Then they take 4, and now the drivers that have taken 4 are taking 2. So look at our pitch strategy delta. Freshest tires on the track right now are going to be Christopher Roth. But Adam Boughton has got about 5 or 6 lap fresher tires than Bailey, and about 10 lap fresher tires than Aaron Miller. So as we've got 30 laps to go here, be on the lookout for Adam Boughton to make a surge to the front as he's now cut the deficit to 3.1 seconds and counting. Let's see McCall hinting that he was going to go inside of Osborne there, opting to just stay high. As you can see, McCall backing up the entry there, trying to get a run on the number 11 of Osborne. As Osborne gets around Denise.
And another battle that we've got going on here, Joe, between the 11 and the 21. The 11's, the 21 and the 20 have cranked it up, but the 11 now is looking at that inside of that 21 car of Evan Marlowe, and looks like he might take this position here through turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, Osborne on a really fast pace right now, running about 3/10 faster than the leader right now. We're sitting at a 30.78 to a 30.94. Well, Osborne definitely on the charge right now as he's going to start working on the number 20 of Randy Meeks, but shaking things up at the front. Tristan Bailey is now in striking distance of the number 10, Aaron Miller.
Aaron kind of running his own line, and Tristan able to just run the line that he's been running all night, and that's right around the bottom of the racetrack. It's and then now we're kind of seeing the opposite here. Tristan running higher and Aaron running low. So
yeah, both drivers just trying to well, more Tristan Bailey trying to stay in clean air, but Aaron trying to keep Tristan from getting to his left rear and being able to drag him back or pack some air on the left rear bumper and get him out of shape.
Yeah, absolutely. And Aaron kind of started the pit cycle here, pitted on lap 97, whereas opposed to Tristan and Adam, they pitted on lap 102 and 105 respectively. So a little bit fresher tires the 9 car has as opposed to what the 10 car has right now, but it seems like Aaron, with the maximum clean air possible, he's been able to hold off Tristan Bailey for the most part right now.
Yeah, it's almost with that tire deficit that Aaron Miller has right now, it's not if Tristan Bailey passes, it's going to be when. So we'll look to see exactly how much longer he can hold off the number 9 as the number 9 right on his bumper and crosses him over. Goes high here, entering turn number 1.
Yeah, I think it's going to be game over here. Tristan's side by side with the 10 and got the better tires, and he's got the better line.
Tristan Bailey back to the point here at Las Vegas. As the third place driver of Adam Boughton has now cut that deficit to just about 2 seconds over the leader Tristan Bailey, and he's about a little over a second behind Aaron Miller, and he's fastly approaching that number 10 car.
Yeah, and he's got to get around the 74 Walsh first, and I think he's going to finally be able to do it here in turns 3 and 4. Clears that 74 pretty easily. As we're on board here with the 5. Yeah, Adams just had a really solid night tonight. Started 8th, up to 3rd. Just been really rock solid and consistent all night. Hovering anywhere from 2nd to 3rd most of the race, especially after the first pit stop.
Yeah, absolutely. The number 94, Adam Boughton, one of the most consistent drivers here in the ECR NextGen League, and like I was saying earlier, is always putting together top 5, top 10 finishes. And when he gets a night where he's running really good, I wouldn't be surprised if he really tries to push and see how close he can get to Tristan Bailey here before checkered flag flies.
Yeah, one of those things where you have a really good night like this, and you keep knocking on the door. Eventually, he's going to knock that door down and take a win. And that would be good for Adam and good for the league. Really, just see some fresh blood in there once in a while winning these races. Look at you, Tristan.
Absolutely. We'll take another look at our season outlook. We'll be at Daytona International Speedway next. That'll be in 2 weeks. League Cup Racing Next Gen Series is going to take 2 weeks off for Labor Day and for the Daytona race. That will be next weekend. And then we'll be back after Daytona, I believe the following week, for Kansas Speedway. As we, that will be the regular season finale. No, that'll be the start of the chase. Excuse me. Kansas will be the first race of the chase.
Yeah, Kansas, another great mile and a half too, where all kinds of good racing throughout the field there at Kansas Speedway. So a great track selection to open the chase.
Taking a look at Anthony Ludi here right now, sitting in 5th, trying to hold off number 20 of Randy Meeks.
And looks like Anthony, 5th place, started 5th, currently running 5th. Definitely been putting on a solid effort tonight. In that Robin Hood Toyota there, number 95.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really ask anything better than that, right? You started 5th, you're going to end with a top 5 finish. Obviously, the goal always to finish as far ahead as you can, but should be a solid finish here for the number 95 and lock in some championship points.
Yeah, I know fans always hated back in the day hearing that term, a good points day, but you know what? Anthony Ludi right now, if this race were to end right now, very solid points day for that number 95. But yeah, Meeks is going to be a tough cookie to hold off as we get down toward the end of this thing. 13 laps to go, and
yeah, and if these two start to battle, that's going to allow the number 11 of Osborne to stick his nose in the mix. He's kind of plateaued a little bit, currently sitting in 7th for the number 11, and I'm pretty sure that he would like to do some things differently if he could do this race all over again after starting on the pole. It looks like he's just going to have to settle for a top 10 finish.
yeah, definitely a disappointing result tonight by John's standards. We've seen him really be one of the only handful of guys to really compete with Tristan on a week-to-week basis over the last 4 or 5 races or so. But still 7th, nothing to go home about in shame, but definitely not the result that you wanted. Definitely a frustrating effort tonight for John. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, and you said it, not me. It's still going to be a good points day for the number 11 of Osborne.
In a roundabout way.
Hey, listen, you wrote the book. I just read it, buddy.
Hey, that's right. But yeah, shout out to Aaron. I don't know what he did. I don't know if he took 2 on that last stop there, but he's done a really good job placing him putting himself in a really good position. Looks like his pit time was 10.98 seconds, so looks like probably took 4, maybe took 2, but he's done a great job. 35 laps on this current run for him, and he's done a really great job holding off guys, especially like Adam and Chris, where they do have newer tires as opposed to what he's got. So
yeah, and it looks like both Miller and Boughton taking 2 tires, and I think that's could potentially be the deciding factor. In whether Adam is able to actually get around him. He's only 0.5 off him at this current point in time, and with 9 laps to go, I mean, plenty of time to catch him. But you've got to be thinking, excuse me, bigger picture here for Boughton. If you get to him, got to pass him cleanly, and got to do it quick.
yeah, absolutely. Adam's done a great job. We have 8 laps to go now as we're on board again with the number 94, but it's it's a tough task. Catch them one thing is passing's another, so just trying to get there. But yeah, if you're taking 2 tires, those left sides are good for a little bit, but then after a while it just seems to, like you said tonight with the plateau, it kind of just plateaus, and there's not a whole lot to do after that. So.
Yeah, and it looks right now like Adam Boughton is closing the gap. Excuse me, hashtag voice crack. Down to just about 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, he's really found some speed the last couple of laps or so, and you see Aaron kind of took his line away from him there going into 3, and He's running down that 10, and I think he's going to be able to make a pass here with the next lap or two. He's going to go to the high side. Aaron Miller going to go to the bottom again, or middle.
Yeah, it might come down to a last lap pass here for the number 94. Is, you know, it's you said it. It's one thing to get to the bumper of somebody in these next gen cars, and it's another thing to actually get past him, especially when your tires are just about even.
Yeah, really what you're looking for is if you can make a pass, great. If not, you're kind of hoping that the guy in front of you makes a mistake. But, you know, Adam is, he's right there. I think he's just, you know, trying to see what he could do and how to plan for that pass.
Yeah, he's diving to the inside now, and this might be his opportunity to get around the number 10 of Aaron Miller's, or side by side, coming across the start-finish line, and it's going to be the 10 with the advantage, but Boughton is going to have the inside here going into turn number 1. We'll see what he can do with it.
Yeah, we've seen Boughton all night, especially in 1 and 2, wrap that white line really well and make it work. It's really, really bumpy down there with the tunnel in turns 1 and 2, but he's able to make it work most of the time. And Aaron had seen the trends of him running that high side for forever and started running the middle, and I think that inside line is going to prevail for Adam here. If not this lap, it'll be next lap. But this lap, you see Adam gets the position here. He's up to P2. Now that he's side by side with him, now he's got to clear him. And of course, once he clears him, I don't think there's going to be anywhere near enough time to reel in the leader. But definitely the best battle we've got going on the racetrack right now is this battle for second and third here.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Boughton really looking good on that bottom line, but I'm thinking he might wish he was on the outside, as if they stay side by side like this, it's going to come down to the final lap in a drag race to the start-finish line for the checkered flag.
Yeah, and he was making that outside lane work, but just for some reason he wasn't able to quite do what he wanted to do and get to the outside of the 10. So I don't fault him for going down to the bottom, but I agree with DJ. I think if he could somehow, as he clips the apron a little bit, got a little bit loose. White flag this time. But yeah, I agree with you. I think he's probably wishing that he would have been able to take the top.
Yeah, we're going to take a glimpse up here at our race leader right now, Tristan Bailey, down the backstretch for the final time. They're still side by side back there for second. Miller and Boughton, as Tristan Bailey going to take the checkered flag here, but we're going to lock in right now and see who prevails for second right now. Side by side to the start-finish line, it's going to be Boughton.
Yeah, Boughton there for second. What a run there for Boughton. Great pass. Going to finish second. Of course, Tristan Bailey's going to be your winner here tonight at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Henry's Roasted Chicken 213. And a green to checkered flag finish here. No cautions tonight for the Elite Cup Racing Series.
Yeah, Tristan Bailey, sporting a number 9 car, gets his 9th win of the season as he takes the win here at Las Vegas. Adam Boughton going to be taking second, and Aaron Miller taking third, as Tristan Bailey comes across the start-finish line and going to burn it down. We'll get post-race interviews kicked off here in just a moment, as number 9 of Bailey going to burn it down across the grandstands. Give the fans here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway a show. And what an awesome night for the number 9 car, coming away with his 9th win of the season. And, you know, we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring up our race winner of the night, Tristan Bailey. This is Joe and Gary in the booth, man. Number 9 on the car, 9th win of the season, man. unbelievable performance. Walk me through that race from start to finish.
Well, I could tell you what, I don't think I've drove any tighter of a setup in my lifetime at any track, but yeah, it was pretty much honestly whoever had the lead, and if you could get around the guy, you had to take it where you could, but it was so hard to pass on the bottom. You just had to get lucky. That middle run there, I thought Adam was gonna catch me. He stayed like 0.8, 0.6. He got the 0.4 at one point with some lap traffic, but I was just glad able to hold him off. It just felt like I tried saving the tires a little bit, just trying to make them have a little bit more rubber at the end. It seemed like that didn't do anything either. I don't know. Whoever makes these iRacing setups must not run them, because there's no way in heck that anybody would want to drive this setup.
Yeah, it's one of those things you're kind of at the mercy for a fixed setup league, and but you've done a great job so far this season, and come away with the win here tonight, and 2 weeks, 2 races until the chase starts, and we'll be at Daytona in about 2 weeks. Going to take a 2-week break off, but yeah, what are you looking forward to, and what are you not looking forward to as we start to prepare for Daytona?
I don't know, honestly. I might just try to relax and hang at the back of Daytona, just see if I can make it to the end. It's just one of those tracks that you need a lot of people for, and hopefully, we all as teammates, as Eons, we can help each other try to get one of our teammates a win that needs it, to try to get more points. Evan's really close on the cut line. It didn't help that Aaron had a phenomenal run tonight, finished 3rd, so I don't think it's mathematically possible for next week, but he would have to hope Aaron Miller would miss. But just trying to work it together as a team next week, not next week, but in 2 weeks at Daytona. Just try to do the best we can as a team, and see where we can go starting the playoffs after that.
Yeah, absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, number 9 with his 9th win of the season, it's going to be Tristan Bailey. Tristan, who you want to thank? Who helped you get it done tonight?
I want to thank all of Eons, and thanks Christopher Travis, Rowdy Travis Designs, for the funny paint tonight. It's like, what if we all ran hot dog paints? I said, oh gosh, yeah, fine, whatever. So he made this paint for our race today, and I just want to give, like I said, a big huge shout out to our team. I wasn't able to make practice Friday night, and just kind of winged it, kind of going in. Tyler did a little bit of practice Friday night, so he told me what he was doing. I tried to do it, and I just felt like I was just wearing the tires more, so kind of just ran my own kind of thing, you know what I mean, in the corners. But it seemed like once the rubber actually got on the track, it helped with tire wear a lot, because green track's going to eat tire wear up on tires, and B, couldn't really tell if it made it tighter or if it did anything to the track. I just know this is one tight son of a gun tonight.
Yeah, Tristan, before I let you go, man, I have one question for you. Are you a mustard or ketchup guy on your hot dog?
Are we talking about like actual hot dogs, or
Yeah.
gonna have like a sausage dog? Because hot dogs are disgusting.
We can go for like a Johnsonville broad or a sausage dog. Yeah, absolutely.
Mustard for sure. Ketchup does not belong on a oh no, I fell the track. Sausage dog. Ketchup does not belong on a sausage dog.
Yeah, well that means that you can be trusted. So good job there. Because ketchup on hot dogs, you just can't trust them at all. But man, congratulations on the win, and we'll see you in just a few weeks at Daytona.
All right, man. You have a good one.
You too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get ready to queue up our second place driver tonight. It's going to be the number 94 Adam Boughton, and Gary, take it away.
Yeah, caught up here with Adam, and dude, what an impressive finish coming to the checkered there between you and Aaron. Talk about the last, really that battle started heating up with about 7 to go, but talk about the last 5 laps. It seemed like you were constantly trying to work and find a way around Adam. You tried the high side, but the low line at the end of the day ended up getting you the spot and ultimately taking home P2.
Yeah, ultimately, I was just trying to do everything I could to get a run on him, whether it was on the bottom or the top, and I just happened to time it to where I got underneath him and just did everything possible to pass him on the bottom there, and then I saved a little trick for the last lap where coming into 3 and 4, I downshifted the fourth to get the little extra pull out of the corner, and it was just enough to let it hook up and drag race me to the line.
How much, we talk about shifting sometimes in this next gen car. How much downshifting were you guys doing all night, or was it just for this particular situation you decided to downshift just to try to get a little bit more momentum coming up out of turn 4 on the last lap?
Well, for me, that was the only time in the race that I downshifted because I think with the speeds that we were all carrying in the for the track, I didn't really think there was a benefit to downshift because the car really didn't fall off too badly there. I mean, if the I don't know, if the times fell off probably another like 4/10, then you probably would have seen a lot more people started downshifting. But
Sure.
I think the pace itself was just overall just too fast to downshift. But when you're running side by side with somebody, when they're trying to pinch you to do everything possible to keep you down there, that it definitely does help in certain spots to give you a little bit of a jolt of acceleration coming out of the corner, which definitely helped me there at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Daytona next week. Well, is it next week?
No, we're off for the next 2 weeks for the actual Daytona race next Saturday and then Labor Day. So it's 3 weeks from tonight.
So 3 weeks we go to Daytona,
Yeah,
which
for
is
the
fun.
regular season finale.
Yeah, regular season finale. How do you feel about your chances of Daytona? I mean, obviously you gotta feel good about your chances of Daytona being a plate track, but
Well,
what's
I just think it's just going to be a giant crapshoot. I think. Really no idea how the race is going to run. And looking at points, unless one of the guys at the very bottom of the cut line miss, it looks like everybody's locked in at this point. The top 12 is pretty much secure. So it's just going to be one of those. Looks like probably just one of those free for all races, and see what happens.
absolutely. Well, any sponsors or any shout outs you want to give before we let you go celebrate your second place here tonight?
Shout out to you guys for broadcasting the race. You guys have been doing an awesome job. Shout out to my RMS teammates with Miller getting a P4, Ludi right there with a P5. So 3 RMS Toyotas in the top 5 is always a good thing. Kent also got a top 10, and I think Doug was somewhere in there too. I just don't remember where he finished. But overall, solid performance by the RMS team tonight, and hopefully we can carry that into Daytona in a couple weeks and into the chase. And then give a shout out to my sponsor, Boughton Enterprises, for being on the car this season and sponsoring the league.
All right, man. Well, we'll let you go celebrate P2. Congratulations, and we'll see you in 3 weeks.
Take it easy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, third and final contender here on the podium. That is going to be the number 10 of Aaron Miller, and he is in the chat as we speak. Aaron Miller, Joe, and Gary in a booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Man, it's good to be back here with y'all.
Man, I know that's right, man. It's yeah, you changed your strategy up there, pitting about 10 laps earlier than Tristan and Adam, and seemed like it was paying off for a while, but towards the end of that run, it's Tristan just had the pace, and then you and Adam were battling for what seemed like an eternity in those closing laps, but come away with P3. And what was it like ripping the fence pretty much trying to keep Adam at bay, and because that was an awesome battle.
Man, just trying to find grip and thinking about my point situation headed to Daytona next week, and just trying to keep it clean more than anything. But just I knew that we were fast if undercutting, so I knew that was kind of going to be my strategy, and just might have pushed it a little too much. But either way, just a really fast Revolution Motorsports Camry tonight. Thankful to Denise Designs for making my car look so good, running the top and all over the place. Just Feels good. Been a long time since I've been up here with y'all and just said a lot about this team. So
Yeah,
happy to
absolutely.
be here.
It was a great points day for you, and with the regular season finale being in 2 weeks at Daytona, every point is crucial, and we don't have the official points standings yet. We'll bring them up. We'll bring the current standings up for the viewers here in just a little bit, and then we'll see how things shape out for you for the chase. Gary, you have anything to add for Mr. Miller?
No, man. I mean, we've seen you qualify good and not race so hot at times. So, the last few weeks. But
That's
good
kind
to
of
see you.
been the theme this year for sure. But
Yeah,
glad
but
to finally execute. I feel like that
put the
meme
whole thing together. That's right, exactly. But
I feel like that meme of the guy of the guy on the bottom of the podium celebrating while everybody else up high looks at him.
Yeah, but it's those little guys that matter, right? And if you can consistently, put together, top 5 finishes, that's definitely gonna help your championship standings. And but just an all around great night for you, Mr. Miller. And we'll get ready for Daytona in a few weeks and see how things go. But right now, we'll give you an opportunity to give your shout outs before we let you get back to your team.
Yeah, just once again, our sponsors, Go Bowling and Napa and Aaron's and Denise Designs and obviously Revolution Motorsports and all of our team guys. Just really happy to be here and happy to get a good one for them tonight.
Absolutely. Well, Aaron, it was good talking to you, man. Congratulations on your finish, and we'll see you in just a few weeks.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you all there.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we double up our overlays here, we'll take a quick overview of the standings on the bottom right-hand portion of your screen. Top 12 drivers will make the chase. So as it stands right now, Aaron Miller on the cut line, currently 16 points ahead of Pete Walsh. But with Pete Walsh finishing 15th and Aaron finishing 3rd, that will almost certainly secure Aaron Miller's spot in the chase. As we go over our official race results here, Tristan Bailey with the win, Adam Boughton in 2nd, Aaron Miller. Rounding out the podium, 4th place is going to go to Christopher Howell. 5th place going to go to Anthony Ludi. Randy Meeks comes away with a 6th place finish. 7th goes to John Osborne. 8th, Ryan McCall, Evan Marlowe, and 9th. And Kent Mueller going to round out the top 10. Dwayne Furtick finishing in 11th. Doug Denise finishing 12th. Tyler Burden in 13th. Christopher Roth in 14th. Pete Walsh finishing 15th. Gary Nash finishing 16th. 17th goes to Ethan Brooks. 18th goes to Douglas King. 19th will go to Robert Roth. And rounding out the field is Michael Carter. Hard charger of the night going to be Ryan McCall in the number 90 machine. Tristan Bailey with the most laps led tonight. Fastest lap went to John Osborne, and our pole sitter for the night was Randy Meeks. Total of 216 miles, 8 different green flag lead changes, 5 different leaders, and no cautions as we went green to checkered here, Gary. And it was a very exciting race. There was tons of action all around the track, and most importantly, went green to checkered here as these guys in ECR all battled it out all night. We stayed clean. We stayed green.
Yeah, and the fact, most, I believe, every car except for Michael Carter was running at the finish of that race tonight. So shows the determination of all the drivers, even with them not running so good there. 13th on back, but yeah, great race, and everybody coming home with points and having a good night. We'll move on to Daytona.
Yeah, absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back here in 2 weeks. That's going to be September 12th. We'll be live at 9:05 Eastern Standard Time here on Sim Racing Media. So be sure to come back, watch the regular season finale as the drivers of the Elite Cup Racing NextGen Series make their way into the chase. With that being said, I am your host, Front Row Joe. Join with me again is Gary Wells, and we will see y'all in 2 weeks.